Oliver, you analyze Boeing. It seems the monthly ECP supply has been removed. Yeah. Monthly, you said? Monthly CP supply? I don't have any supply. I don't have any supply there. There's no consolidation away here to produce demand. I see weekly supply removed here. This is removed for sure. This looks good. Producing a demand here. Yeah, this could be an area here, but we got to do a little bit more analysis here to see, because we can't just draw a weekly demand zone and say, oh, it's going to react off of there. You have to ask yourself, why would it react from there? Why? What's your reasoning? Okay, so you talk through it. Well, several kisses of the demand zone. Yeah, several kisses. Yeah. I bet, we would have thought price was going to rally up from there, but it didn't. I bet we thought price was going to rally up from there, but it didn't. Now it's contacting it again. So what's to stop it from rallying? You got to look at what would stop it, right? It's like in philosophy, right? You have to argue both sides. That's another reason why I love studying philosophy, is because it teaches you the importance of not just looking at one bias, but looking at it from all different perspectives. You have to make an argument for both sides before you come to your conclusion, right? We're not taught that in school. And the reason why we're not taught that in school is because they want you to turn on the TV and hear the opinion that's state-sponsored and to not question. So we need to know that price is being bought from down here and is going to continue. But it's a multiple test, okay, of that demand. Yeah, this is good that this supplies got taken out here, but I wouldn't buy blindly here. I'd wait for a signal, take a profit at an opposing supply, a partial profit, and then wait to see if it wants to go higher. That way, at least you get a profit without taking a loss if price doesn't want to continue higher. You know what I'm saying, guys? It makes sense, Oliver? Because, I don't see a good argument for this going higher. You could make the argument, hey, Kevin, it's going to drop down to here, and then it's going to go up to here. Yeah? Well, let's look at the facts. Did it go there before? No. Did it go there before? No. So why is it going to go there now? Now you have to make a good argument. What's different about where price is reacting from here that was different here and here? What's different? There's nothing different. It's hitting a major demand area. Okay. So not a very good argument for a move higher, right? You can't even say that on this triple bottom here, if you want to call that, this triple test of the 6-month demand, it's not bringing a higher RSI because there's no RSI there to really give us an indication of anything. You could make the argument, well, Kevin, the first bounce RSI was below 40. Okay. And the second one was a little bit below 40. Okay. But this last one is at 40. Okay. Now you got my attention. Now you're starting to sway me in the direction. What's the other things that we were looking at that we were talking about earlier in this session, that we don't want the RSI to get into overbought territory before it retraces, right? Because then that's not such a good sign for a continued move to the upside. Did it go into overbought territory? No. So that's pretty good. Now you got me starting to think that maybe there's something here. All right. So what does it mean when it drops again, and this time the RSI is at 40? What does it mean? Why do we pay attention to this? What's the main reason why we pay attention to this? It's because if it's at 40 on a dip on that time frame, then we expect there to be some kind of a reaction to the upside, right? That's going to take price RSI into overbought territory, right? And also surpass previous highs, right? But it has to happen from a demand zone, and it is happening from a demand zone. It's just that that demand zone has been contacted 3 times. And we also have a rule that if a zone's been contacted 3 times, what do we say? That it's likely going to break, unless it's being acquired by big institutions. Because there are times where a zone gets contacted several times, but then it works. Price plays out. But what would cause it to work out? If it's being bought by institutions. Remember that multiple test on Costco off of, I think, a weekly demand zone? I wanted to buy it. And then I was like, yeah, but the zone's being contacted several times. Yeah, well, it's a different story. Stocks play out differently than currencies. You can have multiple tests of a zone, and it's an accumulation. So accumulation since 2020, I don't know, maybe, maybe. So another thing I like to do is I like to go to this handy website that we've talked about before, Hedge Follow, and we type in Boeing, and we take a look at who owns it and at what price, right? So we look at what would be a good price if the big banks are buying, big institutions are buying. It would be between 115 and 170, give or take. 115 and 170, right? So I'm looking here. And I'm looking at the prices. 115 and 170, isn't that what I said? So let's look at the average. 140, 190 is over, 160 is good, 170, 166, 164, 178, 188 is over, 164 is good, 165, 205 is over, 173, 165, 164, 175. Okay, all right. Just by looking at that, what are we seeing, right? Because we're taking ourselves through discovering what's likely going to happen and what we should be paying attention to, right? This is the whole argument that we're talking about. If I'm having an argument with myself, I have to fight for both sides. And right now I'm building the case for a potential move to the upside on Boeing. So for our RSI suggesting could be a buildup of pressure, right? Because RSI shows us buying pressure. We're looking at hedge flow. We see the big hedge funds buying. Average price is at that accumulation area. So now it's making me think, right? Most of these average buy prices are within that area. So it's decent odds that we see a move to the upside, originating from here. So if monthly time frame is in play here because of this, then next in the sequence is weekly. Okay, so yes, the answer is, could we get a move up like this? Yes, it seems somewhat reasonable to think so. All right, that's the argument. It's possible. It's taken a long time to get here, yes, but why did it take so long? Well, because we had a massive move up from 6-month demand and 12-month demand, and then the move down was just so dramatic, so dramatic. Look at the overbought territory. So it dropped so aggressive, and that aggressive drop so quick brought RSI so weak. And it's taken time to build that momentum again. But slowly but surely, it looks like we've gotten ourselves there. Basing candle, momentum candle, RSI at 40, should go higher past the previous highs, and the low should not surpass this. It did emotionally right here. That was the big drop in the markets recently, I believe. But emotional trading, and maybe some news. You know, if I want to investigate this further, I would look at exactly what happened here throughout this area here, and I'd look at the news. Was there news, bearish news, causing price to drop so much and getting retail traders to sell as the banks were coming in and buying, as the big players were coming in and buying? Maybe. So rally up, yeah, this could work. So this is the process I take myself through when I'm examining a stock and looking for reasons to see if it's a good trade or not. So this is pretty decent weekly time frame. I would set an alert here, and I would do this once per bar, message. Price is coming into a sequence weekly demand zone period. We talked about this one in our level 3 session and discovered that monthly momentum is shifting to the upside according to the RSI, and therefore weekly should be the next time frame in play period. Watch for momentum to shift on the 4-hour time frame. period. Boom. Dunzo. Okay. Any questions on that? Or comments? Questions or comments? Look at that big drop down. We had negative. Oh, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Positive earnings, negative. Positive, negative, 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 negative. Interesting. If the banks were going to buy here, what would you need? You need sellers, right? So negative earnings. Now let's do this different. If the banks are going to buy here, what do you need? Sellers, so negative earnings. If big money is going to buy here, you'd need sellers, so negative earnings. Oh man, what do you need at the highs to get price to go back down? Buyers. So you can offload your shares to them, right? But what do you need at the highs here? Buyers, so you can offload shares to them, right? And then down the lows again, big money is buying. So what do you need? You need sellers to offload shares to them. Then we got a big push to the upside with positive earnings. And now we're starting to see a decline. So yeah, it's possible that we see a move up here. I would not be surprised. But you see this whole dynamic. I mean, gosh, I don't even go out looking for it, but it's there. You see that? The picture that tells you? And you would never think that way, right? You'd be like, well, it dropped because the earnings were bad, man. Oh, it rallied up because the earnings were good, man. It only dropped because earnings were bad. Yeah, well, it went up because earnings were good. Yeah, really? Is that what's really going on? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just pointing out things. Okay, so Boeing, yeah, that's a good one. Thanks for mentioning that one. I will definitely put that one on my watch list. I think it's already on the watch list. Let me see where it is. Under the dividend, I'll put it on the portfolio watch list. Yeah, it's good. Very good. I think we'll end there. We'll leave it off there. But stay tuned, guys, because next week I think we're going to be kicking off the Risk to Riches Challenge. We had a great trade on US dollar Japanese yen. Hope some of you took part in that one. Yeah, and the nat gas trade is looking pretty good as well. Look at the US dollar Japanese yen now building up momentum. Isn't it just so great how we could take advantage of that small little move? Look at that. You know, you get your 3 to 1, boom, you exit. Doesn't matter what the chart does. That's just wonderful.